What is going on, everybody? This is Josh from Sorcerer Studios, and welcome to episode 22 of the Dungeon Game Dev series. Now, in the last episode, we worked on the attack system for the enemies, and it's still very buggy and inaccurate. And, as you can see, I got it set up for the Brute as well. And that didn't take very long, maybe like an hour or so. So I'm very happy that I got that set up. But I think for this episode, I'm going to take the Brute's sword, and I'm going to work on a different thing for this episode. I'm going to begin remaking Spikeman. Now, Spikeman is one of the very first enemies that I made in the game. He's a very early feature that's in this game, and I'm very proud of this current model, but I believe that he kind of needs a redo, meaning he needs to have an updated model and he needs to have an updated attack, because currently his attack is a little bit unfair, and let me show you what I mean. So here's Spikeman right here, and as you can see, there's a very long box collider right here, and this box collider activates when the fire begins shooting at Ethan. Now, this is how I originally had it be, so that Ethan would take damage when he came into encounters with the fire. But there is a problem with this box collider. Every time Spikeman rotates, the fire kind of goes into an arc, and the fire doesn't stay in a straight line, like this. So as you can see, the fire is just going in an arc, and if Ethan is at the end of the fire, the box collider will take health from Ethan, even though he's not directly in the fire. So my plan is to make it so that only when Ethan touches the fire will he ever take damage. So I'm going to work on that, and let's see what it looks like. Okay, so that was actually pretty fun to make. So I completed what I think is a good working model of the Spikeman shooting fire, and Ethan only taking damage when he hits the fire particles itself. So there's really only one way to show you how I did this, and that is to visualize it. But first I'll explain what happens. The Spikeman, whenever he releases fire, instantiates a sphere, and this sphere is basically going at a certain speed, and this speed is kind of dictated by how fast the fire is going. But this basically makes it so that the spheres go at the same arc that the fire goes at, because the fire particles, they actually go in a straight line as well, but it's relative to the angle in which they spawned in. So if we spawn the sphere colliders in the same spot that the fire got spawned in, then the sphere colliders will take up roughly the same space that the fire will take. So let me show you what this looks like visualized in the game. Sorry about that, I just noticed that my stats were on, so I'm going to turn that off, and let's see what this looks like. So when I come into Spikeman's radius, watch this. Okay, so these spheres, they basically make it so that whenever Ethan gets in contact with one of them, he will take damage, and the sphere will disappear. Now, there seems to be a little bit of some bugginess going on, because it seems like it isn't spawning the spheres at roughly the same rate, but I'll fix that in the future. So anyway, when Ethan goes in range of the spheres, as you can see, he takes damage. And if he's just outside of the fire, notice he doesn't take damage, and this is where he would originally take damage, but as you can see, because he's not actually in the fire, he doesn't take damage. Now if he were to just kind of skirt along the fire, he would take a teensy bit of damage. So that's basically how the system works, and I'm probably going to add fire damage as well, and that's actually going to be pretty interesting. So I'll probably add the fire damage sometime in the future, the near future, so we'll have to see what that's like. So yeah, so that is the updated Spikeman attack system, and for some reason Ethan isn't taking damage. I'm guessing it's because Ethan's holding a sword. Yeah. Okay, so it's because of the swords. So I'm going to have it be so that it ignores everything but Ethan. Okay. So that shouldn't be too hard. So anyway, that is the attack system. Now on to making Spikeman look a little better, and this is probably going to take a very long time because we have to model him and we have to texture him. And the modeling is actually its own video. That video should be out right now. But let me just show you kind of what I did. So here it is, the final model of the updated Spikeman. So this, I believe, does look quite a bit better than the original Spikeman. He has his proportions a little better now. Now, there is one thing that I did fix, and I do enjoy this fix because I wasn't so happy about how the original Spikeman, how his door just kind of opens at a swing. So for this guy, I kind of gave him a sliding door. So if we hit R and Z, as you can see, the door opens. Now, this may not be historically accurate because I guess in historical lore and historical fiction and, well, things based on history, the Iron Maidens of back then, their doors actually open, but this is very, very loosely based, and it really has no resemblance to it at all functionally, because this guy, as you know, spits magic fire at Ethan. So basically when Ethan gets in his range, I'm going to make it so that his sliding doors open and the fire shoots out. So that's probably what I'm going to do. And also, one thing I just realized, I left the recording off when I was doing the time-lapse of the inside, so I heavily apologize for that. But for those of you who saw the time-lapse and were wondering where it is, well, here's the inside right here. And as we speak, Matt is texturing Spikeman. He said he wanted to do it, so he is doing it right now. So yeah, so this is the modeling of Spikeman, and just for fun, let's see what he looks like in the game. Now, say goodbye to Spikeman, and say hello to Spikeman. And yes, I did add a little bit of a dungeon room just to see what it looked like. So here is the main model so far of the new Spikeman, and as you can see, he's a little bit taller, and he's a little bit thinner than the original Spikeman. So that's currently what he has going for him. He's definitely not done. I'm definitely going to add some sort of mechanic system underneath him to get him to rotate and stuff, but that will be for a later video. And also texturing will be for a later video. So yes, so also let's see what he looks like when his door is open. Very interesting. So I might make him a little taller, or maybe the fire thing a bit higher so that it's focusing more on Ethan's upper area. So that's probably what I'm going to do. And yes, whoa. I don't know why the walls are doing that. That is very weird. It's probably something to do with this prototyping scene, because obviously this is not the real dungeon. For those of you who have seen hopefully quite a few of these episodes, you obviously know what the dungeon looks like currently. But for those of you who haven't seen the dungeon, well, be sure to watch my previous videos. So yes, so anyway, that is all I have for this video today. I hope you guys enjoyed. We certainly made SPIKEMAN look pretty good so far, and I want to know what you think of him, so let me know in the comments what you thought. And anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.